His life is like a movie. The first half represents adventure and education, but the second half represents impact and recognition. So I will take it from the first half to the second half. The first half, he's got many firsts in his life, which he writes as the first Indian with a disability, but from now on I will not use the word disability, I will replace it as different ability. So the first Indian with a disability to skydive from 14,000 feet, the first Indian from a different ability to live inside Grand Canyon, the first Asian with that different ability to set with this different ability to set his foot on the Antarctic continent for 15 days and take a polar plunge at the intersection of the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans. I think it deserves a round of applause. Moving forward to his education, an ISB graduate and a UW Madison Research Fellow, scholar. The impact, what he has created, is he has been a proud founder of Sahasra, an initiative and an institution which has impacted over 15,000 engineering students, and is also a founder of GMAT Analytics. For his contribution and for his flavor of life, he has been recognized as the Helen Keller Role Model Person India for the year 2011. Listen to me carefully. Amir Khan has had the privilege of sharing dais with him at Satyameva Jayate. As he walks up onto the stage, let me tell you this last piece of information about him. He has been admitted into the Harvard University for his outstanding social work and impact. And he's going to talk about from handicap to Harvard. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hearts.
Am I audible? Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, that part was called Sunta Dabba by an engineer. That's what we do. We go ahead and speak about ourselves. Priyatham spoke about how mechanical jobs are boring. Well, I'm an engineer, and my engineering education can be summarized in one word called LOL. The story. In 1984, in south of India, there was a couple that fell in love. They got married and they moved to Hyderabad. The hero works for Indian Railways. The heroine tries to learn Telugu so that she can fit into the new state. And happiness is their life until they get their first son. I am their first son. Now, my name is Sai, and to the world I look like this. What I go through every day is that I suffer from a life-threatening progressive cancer. How did it happen? Well, I was born with an additional growth in spinal cord. The doctor who operated me did it the wrong way, thanks to the Indian education system. I ended up with severe nervous system damages, which meant there was no sensation in the lower half of my body, no control over kidney functions. And 6 years from there, thanks to an excursion, I picked up an injury. The injury would never heal, but would go on to become a foul-smelling progressive cancer. So, India decides to call me as disabled. Some good people try to call me as physically challenged. It's like calling a single person romantically challenged. or Monday as differently Sunday. Some other better people call me as God's special child. Some Rahul Gandhis tell disability is a state of mind. The truth is, I'm 80% disabled and I cannot walk. The school said I am unfit and a distraction because of my foul smell, and to the other kids I am not a role model. The Pakinti auntie, who is a stalker of my life, says Ayo Papam for everything. The priest said karma. Okay, but God has a plan. My parents believed education will change my life. So they put their entire life earning from Indian Railways, which is not much, and they took a loan and bought me the scooty. And they told me just one thing: we cannot give you anything. In fact, for God's sake, we couldn't even go ahead and create a complete you. But education will change your life. So they inspired me to work hard. I worked hard. Thanks to the Osmania University system, which gives out percentages like crazy, I ended up as a gold medalist of my college, which is unfortunate. Then seeing that percentage, UW Madison gave me an admit, which is even more unfortunate. At which point I realized that engineering was not my passion. You do a 4-year engineering degree, you'll become a philosopher. So at which point I decided I want to do something in life, but you can't do anything in life. At which point I decided MBA is the thing. I went ahead and came back to go ahead and do my MBA at ISB. Thankfully, ISB admitted me. I'm still trying to figure out why. So the journey begins. Once I graduated from ISB, people expect great things. Relatives think you are walking 1 crore rupees. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I wanted to figure out for myself what is that one statement of life that will remain with people after my life ends. That's what happens when you're a philosopher. So I formed a vision statement for myself, which was no person should suffer for the same reasons I did. I wanted to de-link India's view on disability, and I told myself a method: I will raise awareness, do action items, and bring in accountability. So, in order to raise awareness, what I did was I made a wonderful video on what are the accessible facilities present for people with disabilities in US. And put it on YouTube, share it on Orkut and Facebook. Facebook, like Priyatham said, was awesome. 2 people watched it. Myself and my friend. I did a wonderful cost-benefit analysis to tell a company HRs why a person with disability must be employed. They clapped, like you all did, and said, we will see. Then my friend said, dude, the problem is not the problem. The problem is the perception about the problem. Because this great man, thanks to this great man, everybody in India thinks that disability is associated with karma. And because I have done some bad things in previous life, therefore I am suffering from cancer. This guy in his great book also said life is composed of 5 elements: sky, earth, water, air and fire. So I thought, if I can go ahead and prove to the community of India that if I can experience those 5 elements fully and symbolically, maybe I can reposition India's view on disability. So for sky, I went ahead and did skydiving. It was against medical advice. What made it possible? Infrastructure access, not good karma. Okay, the media goes gaga. So I jumped. Initially I was very emotional. I paid the money. I jumped because I paid. That's what happens in India. You're scared of losing money. And that inspires you to do great things. So at the end, Aamir Khan saw that video. When I made a real video, 2 views. When Aamir Khan makes the video, 2 million views. It's the same stuff at the end of the day, so it feels insulting as well as honored. Anyways, India's repositioning begins. So being excited with this, I went to Grand Canyon in the US. So I drove through the Mojave Desert in Arizona and took a helicopter ride over the canyon, found out the oldest and the deepest canyon, stayed in there for 7 days without any signal or without laptop. Result, my manager got angry. And he asked, what is that you are doing in life? And I thought, when the manager is getting angry, that means you are doing the right things, but he's frustrated with us. So I wanted to go ahead and do the next step. Which was water. Like Anjana said, scuba diving was becoming like an easy thing for many people, so I didn't want to do scuba diving. I wanted to jump in the middle of the intersection of 2 oceans, Pacific and Atlantic. When my friend asked why, I said brain dobindi. That's what happens when you're a Hyderabadi. Okay, So I write an article, an email to Sir Robert Swan, who was when your brain fuses, you do such stuff. I wrote an email to Sir Robert Swan saying, you should start a university in Antarctica because people are passionate about their universities, and in the attempt to protect the university, people will protect Antarctica. That was inspired by the Psy movie. Because in the Psy movie, they protect their college, and I called it Psy's idea. So he said, that's great, but why don't you raise money? So I went to all the corporate social responsibilities and started to raise money. But that day, the HR said, we will see, which means they are not going to give you money. So I decided I will raise the money myself. Combining ISB's brand and my ability to teach, I started a venture called GMAT Analytics. I raised 15 lakhs in 4 months with zero investment. And with that 15 lakhs, we went to Andes mountain ranges to train. Now here is the funny part. For 4 complete days we trained in Andes mountains. We try and find out what are the various possible case scenarios that will happen. So my crutches will skid, therefore I use tennis balls below my crutches, and also ice screws when it is snow. So when I go into Antarctica though, I figure out that I cannot use hand gloves. All my training I used hand gloves, but in Antarctica I will put in those gloves which are very heavy, therefore I can't even hold a crutch. So now all the training goes waste. So I seek revenge on Britishers. I asked them to carry me. For all the 200 years that we carried them, I asked them to carry me. And later on, at the intersection of Pacific and Atlantic on Shivaratri day, so that there is no moon and lesser waves, we go ahead and jump. I froze to death for the next 3 days, wondering why did I do it? The brain loop in the moment. Purpose achieved. So then eventually when we reached Antarctica, I became the first human to eat curd rice and avocado in Antarctica. People also said I am the first rural physical disability, differently abled, whatever at Antarctica. But doing all these things slowly, I started to explore various elements, and I found out that there is a method to generate awareness in India which is called madness. So you supply madness for the demand of madness, and we developed a proper framework to solve social problems, which included generating jobs for people with disabilities where disability is an advantage. For instance, if a traffic police is deaf, he is not affected by noise pollution. That is the ideal job for him. Therefore, wherever disability is an advantage, we started generating jobs. HR started calling up. I got a call to go ahead and present this in front of you all. So that is how my story ended. The truth at the end of the day is disability is not what you cannot do. It is not what you are allowed. It is something that you are not allowed to do. And our country's infrastructure, attitude, and the very way we perceive life does not allow to do a lot of things. Try and check where are you not allowed to do what. Overcome that disability. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you very much.